of this performance.
Dear Dean, dear the head of department, welcome on second stage. Welcome all to this great activity held by some of the second stage students of English department. We need to continue having activities, research on poetry, and an act from Hamlet. And now we ask Dr. Thomas to give us a speech.
Really? I'm not prepared for that. Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today I am so glad to be here among you and being an audience in front of you guys performing your favorite arts. Thank you very much.
Let's welcome Hannah Ismail to say something about Shakespeare biography.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our performance of Hamlet, we invite you to step back in time, more than 400 years, to the world of William Shakespeare, the man whose words we continue to speak today. William Shakespeare, often called the greatest writer in the English language, was born in 1564 in the small market town of Stratford-upon-Avon. His father was a glove maker, and his family lived a simple life. Nothing in his early years suggested that he would one day become a legend. But even as a young boy, Shakespeare was fascinated by power of language, by stories, by ideas, and by the mysteries of human emotion. At the age of 18, he married Anne Hathaway, and soon after, their family began to grow. Yet Shakespeare's life was to a different path from most men in his time, drawn by ambition and imagination. He left Stratford and traveled to London, a city full of noise, danger, and opportunity. London at that time was crowded and smoky and alive with energy. It was a place where anything could happen. And for Shakespeare, something extraordinary did. In London, he discovered the theatre. The theatre of Shakespeare's time was a magical world where kings and queens could rise and fall within an hour, where ghosts could walk, where love could conquer death, and where ordinary people could speak in beautiful poetry. Shakespeare became both actor and playwright, and his talent quickly captured the attention of audience across the city. Over the years, he wrote around 39 plays, comedies, histories, and powerful tragedies such as Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, and the play we perform today, Hamlet. He also wrote 104 sonnets, exploring love, time, jealousy, and the meaning of life. Shakespeare's plays were performed at the Globe Theatre, a wooden building open to the sky. Inside the Globe, actors stood on a bare stage with a few props. But Shakespeare's words were so powerful that the audience could imagine everything: royal horses, battlefields, dark forests, and stormy seas. His characters were alive with emotion. Lovers who fought against fate, kings hunted by guilt, warriors driven by ambition, and the princes who questioned everything. Even though he became famous, Shakespeare himself remained a mystery we know surprisingly little about personal failures. It is almost as if he chose to hide behind his plays. letting the characters speak for him. Later in life, he returned to Stratford, where he died in 1616. But his voice did not die. It continued to echo through time. And now, more than 4 centuries later, Shakespeare still speaks to us. He speaks to us because human emotions have not changed. We still love, we still fear, and we still dream, we still doubt. Today, as we present Hamlet, a story of grief, confusion, and the struggle between action and hesitation, we honor the voice of man whose imagination will shape our understanding of what it means to be human. Thank you.
Next group, some students read from the best sonnet by Shakespeare. Nasima will read sonnet 18 by Shakespeare. Welcome.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves hath all too short a days. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dim. And every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course and trip. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose position of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wonders in his shape, when in eternal life to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long live this, and this gives life to be.
We read the sonnet 60 by Shakespeare.
Like as the waves make towards the pebble shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end. Each changing place with that which goes before, in sequent toil, all forward do contend. Nativity once in the main of life, crowds the maturity wherewith being crowned. Proves eclipse against his glorified, and time that gained doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the florid stage on you, and delve the parallel in beefy brow. Feast on the retreats of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for a seed to mount. And yet, to time and hope, my verse shall stand, praising the word, despite his cruel hand. Thank you.
Sayed will read sonnet 160 by Shakespeare.
Let me not to the marriage of two minds, admit impediment. Love is not love, alters when its operation finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose works unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not times full, thou rosy lips and cheeks. Within his bending sickles compass come. Love alters not with his grief, hours and weeks, but hears it out, even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved.
Now, let's hear from our actors and actresses performing Hamlet. So this is a scene when Hamlet knows that his father has been murdered. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give an applause.
And can you by no gift of conference yet tell him why he puts on this confusion? Waiting so harshly all his days of trial with turbulent and dangerous lunacy.
He did confess and feel himself distraught, but was from the coast by no means to speak.
What do you find forward to be sounded? He manages alone when you're being honest and confession of his mistake.
Did he receive you well? Most like a gentleman.
But with most forcing of his disclosure.
Niggard of questions, but our demands most free honest reply.
Did you save him to eat last night?
Matter, it's so fell out of a certain place we arrived on the way, obviously we told them. But the team on him can alive joy to hear of it. And they are here so all about court. And as I think they are already ordered this snack to play before him.
This most true, and he beseech me to entreat your majesty to have him see the matter.
With all my heart, and not much content with your own so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose into these delights.
You shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us free. For you have closely sent for Hamlet here that he, as though by accident, may hear of friend Ophelia. Her father and I, lawful espiles, will so bestow ourselves that seeing and seeing we may of the encounter frankly judge and gather by him as he behaves. If it be the affliction of his love or no, that he thus suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happiness of Hamlet's wildness. So shall my good shoes will bring him to his wanted way again. Heaven, oust me.
Ophelia, why are you here? Gracious, so please you, will be true ourselves. Read on this book. This book, such an exercise may color your long limbs. My lord, 'tis much proof that the devotion's visage and pious actions we do sugar the devil himself.
Oh, 'tis too true. How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. The harlot sheep, beauty with plastering art, is now more ugly to the thing that helps it, than is my deed to my most painted word. Oh, heavy burden.
I hear him coming. Let me go, my lord.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it's noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep we say to end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that flesh heir to. It's a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the weeps and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the parents, that patient merit often worthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make. With a bare bodkin, who would fathers bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose board no traveller returns, and the puzzles will make us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all, and thus The native hue of resolution is sickly yet o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises with great pit and moment. With this regard the currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well, well, well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to deliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you never tell it. And with them words of so sweet composed, as made the things more rich, their perfumes lost. Take this again for the noble mind, which gives wax full into this woman's height. Then my lord.
Huh? Huh? Are you honest?
My lord,
Are you fair?
and your lordship,
If you be honest and fair, your honesty should have made no discourse to your beauty.
the bliss man has then come to an answer.
Aye, truly for the power of beauty that sooner transform honesty from what's abhorred than force of honesty can translate it into its likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives the proof. I didn't love you once.
Indeed, my lord, believe me, your step.
You shouldn't have believed me for virtue so inoculate in our old stock. We shall relish of it. I love you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners, I myself indifferent honest, yet accuse myself that it were better my mother had not borne me? I'm very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my back that I have thoughts to put them in, imaginations to give them shape, or time to act them in. What such should as fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are knaves all. You should believe none of us. Go thy ways to none. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play fool nowhere but in own's house. Farewell, farewell.
Oh, help me, sweet heaven.
If thou dost marry, I will give thee this plate for thy jewelry. Be thou as straight as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Or if you will need to marry, marry a fool, for wise men well know enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, quickly do, farewell.
My mother restored him.
I have heard of your great things too. God has given you one face. You make yourselves another. You cheat, you amble, you lisp. You neglect God's creatures. You make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. I'll say no more on it. It hath made me mad. Those that are married already, all but one, shall leave. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here, O throne. Courtiers, soldiers, scholars, son, sword. The expectancy and rose of the fair state. The blast of fashion and tumult of storm. Be observed for all observers. Wait, down. And die of ladies most decked and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows. Now see the noble and most servant reason, like sweet bells, jingles out of tone and harsh. The unmatched form and future of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, well, it's me. Don't see what I see. See what I see.
Love? His affections do not that way turn. Know what he spake, though laughed from a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, over which his melancholy sits on brood. And I do doubt the hash and the disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent I have thus in quick determination set it down. He shall with speed to England with the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different, with variable objects shall extol this something settled matter in his heart. Whereon his brain still beating, puts him thus out of fashion. What do you think on it?
Shall do well, but yet do I believe that the commencement and origin of his grief sprung from neglected love? How now, Ophelia? You don't need to tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him. To show his grief, let her be round with him, and I'll be pleased. So please you, in the ear of all their conference, if she finds him not, to England send him, or confine him where your all wisdom shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Performance. Nashed as Hamlet. Saren as Ophelia. Darin as Queen. Astiar as King. Halas as Polonius. Shank as Rosencrantz. Shaham as Guildenstern. This is the end of our performance. We will carry on and activities never stop. Thanks to English department and the representatives.
So harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous looks.
He is confused and feel himself distraught, but when from coast by no means speak.
No.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess and feel himself distraught, but what from the coast by no means to speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would greet him to some confession of truth evening.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of disposition.
neither of Christians, but our demands most frequently.
ئاشتی پەروەردگارتان لێ ببینرانی خۆشەویست ئەمڕۆ سێم ڕۆژی پرۆڤەمانە لە شانۆی هاملێت لە کۆلێژی زمان بەشی ئینگلیزی.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Neither of Christians. This position and neither of Christians.
Yes, I'm going to question.
Neither of
And by asleep to say we end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that there's air to.
عزیزان سڵاتان لەبێت کاتان باش ئەم شەرە ڕووکچانەی نیشتیمانی لە زانکۆی سلێمانی بەشی ئینگلیزی ئەڵمای چەند ڕۆژێکە پرۆڤاکەین بۆ نمایشکردنی بەشێک لە شانۆی هاملێتە هیوادارم دڵی ئازیزان بێ ئەومە 25 مانگە بەردەوامی هەر لەگەڵ ئاهەنگەکە شاشتی کەشمانە بێت هیوادارم بەباشی بڵاوبڕێ و ئەمان دەستیان خۆش بێ خوانلای کردم چەند ڕۆژە و ماندوو بوون بدل جماعتی میکاپ مانه رقص مانه رخل مانه موجودیت مانه ولی رقص باسی یعنی که این دپشتی کامیران دنیا میشه که زوج واندرسیو بلکه مانه بیام زوج اسپاسی هل من با ام و زانکۆی اجتماعی میشه.
And more tender. يعني ها بعد زونزمي لا خلنا وكاحة هم جوان ترى قبل بيسا هم يش معنا هي جوان ترى شو إيموشني فيها كده
ما نوش شو بيجي نوم جابي واشي يجابي كيسي كن يلقي ما هو كتبنا جابي سوي هان بس يبرك
You should believe none of us. Go thy ways to me. Where's your father?
At home,